Yo. We're trying for round two here. Apparently, my microphone was just not working el momentero ago, but I think we have a fix. We're ready to rock and roll. We'll get into things in just a second here. But the point of today's show, to kind of recap super quick here, is that we're going to go over some AI games, including this one by Futurverse in Grumble, and then we're going to go over to the Aiers game. It's otherwise like racers with an AI in the middle of it. We're going to go over some of the Yuga news and some older collections that I'm seeing pop up on the timeline as well, and then anything else that you guys are wanting to chat about. So get into this one. Grumble, you get a goblin, and these things are like $20 to mint. It's like USDC. I don't know if Root's involved. I actually haven't minted one in a while, or this junk. And so these goblins are worth 0.5 future score per, and I think it costs about 100 junk to be able to mint one of these. They do have a situation where if you happen to be an owner of one of the NFTs that they've allowed for like the burn mechanism, then you'll be able to use a goblin for free. But otherwise, you kind of just leave the browser open. You're able to click into it, and then your goblin has a kind of huge fight with a whole bunch of other people. We will try to bring up a game super quickly. It's through Mark here, which is a new Web3 marketplace that is intending to have streaming purposes as well. And we'll see if this ends up working. Hopefully it's not too loud. But you can kind of see within this that it's a game where everything's automatic. You don't do anything, but these goblins fight. Some people love it. Some people are like, hey, we need more depth to it. But I think from the conversation that we had yesterday in 30 minutes max with Aaron McDonald, he was basically saying these are all like kind of products to show proof of concept for a large majority. When I asked him about how does it work for these AI games, is that kind of what Futureverse is trying to go for? And he's like, no, you should think of this more as like a platform. So that's one variation of it. But then yesterday we had the Racers Cart Mint. And so if you happen to have an ATOM car club, or if you had an ASM Gen 1 brain, you're able to redeem one of these cars for free. And it came with a whole bunch of different parts. So we can try to make a nifty little vehicle here. It's got the different parts and stats and all this, and it's very in depth, which is intriguing because I feel like people are looking for that depth. They're looking for that extra kind of nudge, and this might be something that could pique interest of people that really like something that's more in depth. So you can switch through, and if it's a bronze, silver, or gold item, it won't match the car's look. However, if you do the let me turn this down just a little bit. I mean, the voice is all right in the same vein here. But so we'll throw this on as an example, and you can kind of see it looks like that. You throw on the next one, and it'll look like this, and all of them are pretty much purple. But when you use the bronze, then it's bronze. If you use the silver, then it's silver. So we'll throw on the silver just because people, everyone online's been pretty much just jacking everything up with the silvers because they think that it looks cooler. Or the golds if they happen to have it, but I think also the carts that like have the same type of look also look pretty all right. And then for the wheels, if we're going for the all silver, we have two different silvers that we ended up pulling. But again, if you're just trying to match the card color, you just take one that's not one of those. And I don't really have anything that's too fancy on that front, so we'll just go with that. But you can see on the bottom of the screen here how there's the durability, the off-road, on-road handling. You'll have a character that'll be an AI one, and you get to rock and roll with it, which is kind of neat. But then you're there, accessories. It's got kind of like that fun and not like serious feel as well. You can decide what sort of gaming chair you want to have as well. And then you can move around, take a snapshot, and it's pretty cool. Like, I think the fact that they've built the technology to have this all out easy. It had some metadata issues yesterday where they had to pause the mint, but a lot of people are starting to pick up on this from the community themselves. But I'll be curious to see on like the greater Web3 whole if they care about these kind of things, or if it's kind of the same old song and dance. So I posted a tweet saying, what are thingy backpacks, and tagged Aaron for it. And Ticker's Bitcoin here decided to shill Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic, 10 Inu. And then Aaron responded with a backpack of IOI, the bad guys, if you will, in Ready Player One. So I don't know if this is a hint at new merch within the Futureverse collection. I feel like a lot of collections we've not seen too many merch releases. We've seen like more figurines and whatnot recently, but we haven't seen a huge merch push. So excited to see what exactly that looks like. Now, there's been some drama that's happened where yesterday Yuga Labs posted their Other Side tweet where you were able to sign up for Other Side with an account, create a username, and there was people out there that went and got people's different handles, and they were like, we got these handles, and then Yuga made an announcement, or it was Garga, I think, that responded to somebody saying that if your account got taken, like it was from, if your account was taken by a squatter or something like that, DM or CM, and we will get you the name back. So there's a couple people that got their names back, but then Fubar is here highlighting that people need cluster. And so this goes back to the question of, okay, so there's ENS names, there's all these other names that are soul dot whatever that are starting to come out, but then there's another one here in clusters, and that's your universal name. So we'll take a quick little peek at this. Meet Impert, who uses lots of wallets across lots of blockchains. It's confusing to remember which ones are related. There's too much fragmentation. Introducing clusters, the first cross-chain name service. Multiple blockchains, multiple wallets, one name. We're bringing the blockchain world together. So I don't know exactly how this helps in that circumstance, because there's going to be something where people could go and they try to bid on another name that's just like ENS. So how is it different, except for the fact that they're forcing like the Web3 decentralized aspect within this world? Your universal name, a name on any chain, and it automatically appears on others powered by layer 0. No more squatting, leave that for the gym. Our demand-based pricing algorithm makes it expensive to steal other people's names, and it's always cheaper to register one. So I mean, I wish it showed like exactly how that looks. But designed to go everywhere, integrate clusters with your app to power multi-wallet experiences. And I guess the thought with this, right, is that there would be some kind of monetization or some form of payment that you would need to make for this to work and happen, if that makes sense. So the idea, similar to Farcaster, which is the social app that came out, and they were like, hey, Warpcaster of Farcaster, and you had to pay the $5 to get in there. Arguably, it completely eliminates bots as a whole. Now, there was a thread yesterday, which I highlighted that I meant to this ape. We went over this BAYC sale saying that it was from a hack previously that you could pay the ransom for. And it's like one of 3 that's a crown trippy. So, Datasun here, why I spent over $500,000 on Bored Ape Yacht Club. This guy's a whale. Just today, I've received over 50 DMs asking why I decided to buy 3 rare apes and if I have any alpha. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like a good quarter of these DMs were probably like, yo, if you're buying grails, yo, if you're going like 4 or 5x the floor, I might have a deal for you. All right, so let's discuss the future of BAYC. First, let's understand what caused the dip. A persistent feeling that Yuga Labs is focusing on dozens of projects within their ecosystem rather than on the project and the community that elevated them to their current pedestal. And, the title of this stream is talking about kind of AI games, and it's interesting that we don't really have any kind of AI narrative that's attached to Yuga, unless I'm missing something. Billions of tweets, the Pudgy Penguins will outrun BAYC at the moment. The acquisition of Proof and Moonbirds without a word to the community was just the final straw, unleashing a wave of long accumulated FUD and leading to a BAYC floor dropping to 20 ETH. Did it actually drop that far? This is the same time that ETH is like moving through, so you kind of have a double-edged sword with that. A bunch of other precedences have occurred during the last 2 years, making small cuts to Yuga's reputation and branding. Why do I believe these reasons are not sustainable in the long run? Yuga's founders' reaction to the onset of FUD was clear. Bored Ape Yacht Club is our priority, and 2024 will be the year of BAYC. It's weird how that entire storm, I guess that was kind of the full takeaway when you look at it now, seeing everything that happened. But man, what an absolute storm to get to that point. The excitement around an ETH ETF, boy, I love how that signs, will inevitably lead to increased interest in L1 products. Okay, so spoiler alert, one of the tweets we go over in a little bit is regarding Bitcoin ordinals and somebody making a call saying, well, we saw ETH do the run in 2021 for like the NFT landscape, and they believe that Bitcoin ordinals is going to do that. Again, when these tokens go flying, people have liquidity, and it's, it is kind of the magic internet money in a way where you don't really have the same reservations or see it like affecting your bank account once it's there and in this online portal. So when things go crazy, yeah, and you with your friends, you're connected all the time. People do things, you know what I mean? So who will be the king of the ETH NFT market during this expected bull run? This is a great question. Is it the historic NFTs? Is it ones that are connected to certain brands, right? People cluster Yuga NFTs as a whole. They don't necessarily just say CryptoPunks and Bored Apes. They say Yuga NFTs. And is Yuga NFTs actually something that's going to perform in that? Or is it going to be just those particular subsets? Is it going to be new ecosystems that are budding? Is it going to be something that comes out of an L2 that's a game that just gets mass adoption and there's all this craze and it's not these, exclusive assets? I love Pudgy Penguins and their community, and I'm considering joining them in the future, but selling toys in Walmart, that's quite the groundbreaking move. Their first step right. In my opinion, it will take Pudgies a few years to build an ecosystem similar to what Yuga already has. Okay, so we'll let you go in through and read the rest of that, but kind of the final point I would say with this is when we say the ecosystem similar to what Yuga already has, is it just that there's a bunch of IPs that's in the work? Is it the history of having these events that people know that there's always going to be something that's built for that, right? Because the notion as well that a lot of people have is, okay, does a project have runway? That's something that's still questioned by a whole lot of people. When the Moonbirds deal happened, people went out and said, oh my God, Yuga has no runway left. That's why they did it. Instead, potentially it could be they have X amount of more runway beyond that. And so I don't know. I think that it's like hard to word these things when everything is still at the same time frame. Yes, certain collections have done more than others, but I think when I was watching somebody do a tier list yesterday about a whole bunch of collections, don't worry, I made them put Fluff in B, or at least I brought that up and they ended up moving it from C. But they had all these collections, and it's, it's the one hit point that everybody makes about something. And they're like, oh, Doodles has Pharrell Williams. Moonbirds has the people that are the arguably high-end art collectors, but really like Kevin Rose and was, hyped up on that mint initially. Azuki's, the anime lovers, and this and that. And there's all these narratives and things, and it's the people brought up crypto undeads as where do we want to put them in the list, and it's like, okay, that like minted a month ago, and we're going to end up putting that higher than other things just because there is short-term interest right now, where we've seen a lot of collections also have that kind of just fade away after that. Now, what is going to prevent some of these collections from having a fade away is these new NFT marketplaces being like, listen, we got free money that we need to give you. Magic Eden to allow ETH OGs to claim diamonds on March 13th. Whoops, I didn't want to go there. So the post came out where it was just a GIF here saying this. Now, the other day, we did bring up a tweet from Adam who was saying, wouldn't it be great if Magic Eden basically gave points to all the people that used OpenSea in the early days? And that would be incredible. And there you go. That's basically exactly what's happening for that. So whenever they end up having this full diamond claim, it's going to be very interesting. Again, this is just more liquidity for the entirety of the NFT market. Now, Meebits is a weird one because I kind of like the way that Meebits look. I think it is something that you could argue has been kind of forgotten about. It got put in the same thing as CryptoPunks to an extent of, hey, this is the second collection. CryptoPunks, do we care if anything goes on this? Do we care if anything goes out? But Danny Green, this spring, the whole Meebits community will get the chance to run, jump, grind, and fly through Metropolis. If you were at the playtest in Berlin, tell the people what to expect. So, again, this looks kind of neat. It looks sleek. It looks good. Hopefully it's fun to play within this Metropolis. And is that going to end up shooting Meebits? Potentially. But I also think it's wild that there's certain collections that are already like 2 ETH plus. And then, hey, hey, we're getting like an experience or something, and people think that instead of experiencing that first, they want to go buy something thinking that they'll like the experience before it happens. Now, I got to shout out Algie for a second because he tagged me in this today, and I was like, I don't remember this ever happening. But from the official OpenSea handle in February 10th, it's like 12 days ago, a couple years back in 2021, they said, we're excited to announce our collaboration with the Tezos ecosystem, which will allow their growing community to explore and trade Tezos NFTs on OpenSea. Check out our blog post to learn more. Now, I don't know any Tezos collections. Like if you asked me to like go and type one in, yeah, I don't know. So I tried typing in Tezos NFTs on OpenSea just in Google, and I got nothing. And I don't remember this happening back in 21. I feel like maybe I thought that there was some kind of opportunity on certain NFTs to pay in Tezos a couple months back. My brain's kind of foggy on this, but I don't think this has actually happened. And that's crazy to have such a huge announcement from such a huge player. And, you know, within the Root Network community, there's been talks, or there is talks between the team and OpenSea, and that's potentially the other route besides Mark from their native marketplace. But what the hell happened to this partnership between Tezos and OpenSea? Now, McDonald's, I don't know why I wanted to call McDonald's OpenSea there, is launching these anime type characters saying, tag yourself, I'm Berg. I don't know if they're doing a show. I don't know if this is just they're trying to design stuff that's potentially geared towards a little bit of an older crowd in this way, because again, at least in the NFT space, we're seeing the anime type vibes go crazy. Is this an NFT itself? I don't know. That's the problem nowadays. We don't know, but imagine Mickey D's in the space. That's crazy. So Otherside apparently is no longer building an MMORPG on the Otherside platform. Not going to lie, this is a bit of a shock to me. I thought we were getting Web3 World of Warcraft. Okay, so this was what it originally highlighted. They said, enter the other side. You got here just in time. Otherside is a gamified, interoperable metaverse currently under development. The game blends mechanics from massively multiplayer online role-playing games, MMORPGs, and Web3-enabled virtual worlds. Think of it as meta RPG, where players own the world, your NFTs can become playable characters, and thousands can play together in real time. Yo, Trader Pops, good morning, sir. And there was a response, or not a response, but a letter that was put out by one of the people that are involved with building out Otherside, and it was super lengthy. Basically, the beginning of it was, hey, we screwed up. We're trying to figure out things. We want to have balance with the speed that we're going at, the proper height, yada, yada. And within that letter, he said, keeping things clear. I think it's important to take a beat and also clarify what we are not doing for now on Otherside. We are not making a competitive MMO that takes many years, many tens of millions of dollars, and has enormous risks. There are AAA game companies that have their thousands of employees working on these and other projects, and that red ocean isn't one we want to swim in. I think I have a post that comes up here, maybe not right away, but they're like, didn't you raise like $500 million from this? So you would have the money for it. And now there's this kind of back and forth dialogue that people are questioning it. But at the same time, there's also the people that are kind of on the fence or being like, hey, that's, we didn't really think that MMO was going to be viable, but the real value that people want to know is, what are the game assets that we bought going to be used for? Is it still going to be an experience that's just as enjoyable on a different sort of venue per se? And on that topic, Palworld was built with $7 million. Cyberpunk 2077 cost $174 million. Red Dead Redemption cost $300 million. You made $561 million on Otherside NFT sales. Burned $200 million in gas fees, which is the reason why we now have Ape Chain, by the way. No more of the stupid as wag me shit. Yo, we do love a good wag me. With participation trophies, I love BAYC, and I love that they will separate. You guys have been a train wreck past Ape. So they go on like this kind of huge rant with it and whatnot, but it's crazy because, you remember the happenings of it, but then you don't realize how significant that number was. And another Yuga game that came out a while ago was the Rec League. Do you remember when they sold the robots and you were supposed to be able to buy ones, and if you have parts, then for the players that are like Web 2 based, they'll be able to purchase them, and then you get a cut of the fees. Well, League of Legends is launching their fighter game, and I think it looks really, really cool. But it also could end up sparking some interest in fighter games as a whole, because new people that play League of Legends might be like, hey, I'll try out this game because it's my IP that I enjoy of League of Legends, and they could experiment and try to get into other game genres like that. So for the fighting games out there, maybe just watch for that. So DeGods, some new news. In case you missed it, Frank DeGods reveals that he has merged D Labs and Dust Labs into a single company, parted ways with Kevin DeGods, and became the CEO of the merged company. So I'm pretty sure Kevin DeGods was like his dad. But them changing stuff, the structure of NFTs, all the movement. I mean, we saw Futureverse combine the 12 companies. There's a ton of stuff that's moving within the space. It's crazy. Okay, the European Central Bank made a tweet saying Bitcoin has failed to become a global decentralized digital currency, instead falling victim to fraud and manipulation. And then they got community noted saying 1 BTC is not preferable for criminals like fiat, like dollars and pounds is, with a bunch of articles. 2, Bitcoin is an open monetary protocol and a decentralized store of value. 3, the euro is losing its purchasing power against Bitcoin constantly. Bitcoin is good for the environment. That, I feel like these community notes are getting way more savage. Holy smokes. So you might have heard about the Grapes NFT project. I've highlighted it on the video, on a video before they minted. I talked about it again when I was highlighting some different Animoca projects. And the thing with Grapes that was kind of odd is that they launched, it was very not viewed, right? Like I'm talking about like holding around 0.15 and for a collection of like 3,000. That's, you know, that's respectable. And then they shot all the way up to 4 ETH off of the launch of their token. Now it came out that you needed to have, well, you didn't have to, but if you had an NFT, you got a 10% bonus. It was like 0.75. There was a maxed allocation. It was supposed to be 1, but then they brought it down and then had more people be able to participate in it. But then they launched on Binance Smart Chain for the token, which didn't make any sense because they did like the token sale in ETH, but they're here and they're burning 3.7 million grape. Deflationary supply, multiple game integrations and syncs, and we're only just getting started. Huge thing. Whenever they talk about syncs, that's something that a lot of games I feel like haven't really explained or done a good job of. So if you do see that, always pay attention. Now, 8 Aliens collection a while ago. I think we highlighted this on collections that we haven't really heard a whole lot of from. I don't know if something's going on here. Sellers will run out of tokens at some point. Here offer you other equips and latest free. No floors, only grails, packed with utility, not just pixels. So, I mean, maybe, yeah. I don't know if this is just art or something more is happening with that, but either way, the 8 Aliens are popping back up on my feed. These exchanges, these countries, they're starting to go to war because they realize the money is there. Just in, Nigeria blocks access to the following crypto exchanges: Kraken, Binance, Coinbase. Now, the real alpha is going and figuring out what they are involved in from a in-country exchange situation. As long as there's the ones that are in the country that are doing fine, this is kind of a nothing burger. If there's something more to that, maybe something to look at. But I think, again, these countries are just wanting to hold the exchanges where they are. There's so much going on in the world of Pixelmon. Let's go over one of our most exciting Web3 gaming ecosystems. The Mon token is coming soon. Pre-sale info announced. 30% of token allo is going to the Pixelmon holders. Pixel Pal's upcoming Web3 game. Investors such as Ray Chan, Alex Becker, Dingaling, Grail.eth, Zeneca, FaZe Banks, and Yat Sui. Okay, so Tarzan, what's going on? Oh shit, how will the Nigerian prince now send money to us? Truly. Okay, so 30% of the token allocation going to Pixelmon. Now, I started off this video, and I wanted to talk a little bit more about kind of like the AI games around Futureverse, but I don't know if we'll end up getting to like that full breakdown here, but it makes me think of this, right? So 30% of the token allocation going to Pixelmon holders. We know that there's like a similar percent going to the community holders for the root token, except that kind of encompasses all of the NFTs. So within Futureverse right now, there's a big conversation about fluffs are trading under an ETH, and they're supposed to be the apex predator of the collection. Why is it not getting more recognized? And a lot of the points have been made to, okay, Futureverse is not explained. We don't know the formula of that, so we're assuming that fluffs kind of get the same score as the others, or at least in terms of multiples, because like for a fluff you can get it for 30 future score, which ends up timesing by like crest rewards depending on how many they want to give. So a future score of like 40 could end up netting 40 root, or it could end up netting like 1,000 root or something, depending on how many multiples the quest is. But if you go out and you buy some of the smaller ecosystems that are way cheaper than a fluff, and you still get up to that base score of the 40 future score, then people are like, oh, well, this is kind of the same thing, right? So there's not really that clear justification of it. But then we had another collection that was giving 38% of the token in Pixels Online, and people were fudding the hell out of it, saying, what do you mean? Why doesn't the community get more? And I find that stuff hilarious. But them highlighting the token coming soon, is that going to be something that's an instant claim up front? Is it going to be over time? How does that look? Yesterday, 15 Bored Apes swept for $1 million. First thought people go to is, oh my God, is the leverage trading back? Did somebody just take out a whole bunch of loans? Is there something that's actually here and people want to buy this? Is there news coming? Let the speculation commence. Always see Garga dance and dance and dance. I'm not convinced there's enough liquidity left in the NFT ecosystem for a bull run like in 21-22. Persona Journey will demonstrate this point perfectly. So you've probably seen on your timeline this Persona Journey. It's kind of like an anime type style that's getting a lot of traction. And a lot of people are already fudding it to all 7 else. So I'll bring that up in a momentary. But I commented saying saturation of the space has been brutal, and the value prop for most of the NFTs now solely rely on tokens or a specific narrative. As we're seeing, Sappy Seals went flying the other day because there's a token, Pixelmon. It's the first thing that people highlight about what to be bullish on regarding that. For every collection, you kind of go down the list, and if it has a token, that's usually one of the first value adds for it, or it's simply just the narrative where, you know, for Bitcoin ordinals with these node monkeys, they think this time it's different. These collections actually have movement. There's genuine collectors, diamond hands, yada, 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 yada. There'll definitely be a few collections that sling high, but it'll be a concentrated bet. And so that's what I'm saying, is that we're going to still have a whole bunch of these different collections out there, but whatever has these tokens and these things in it is actually doing it the best, where before, and people still do say that, hey, you know, the best ecosystem where you know you're going to get something in the future is Yuga. Well, that narrative ends up expanding as well. And the flappening was always bullish for apes because hopefully it lights a fire to the right ship here. And he's just talking about Pudgy's flipping apes. Partnered with Google and Amazon, only 4.79 million market cap today. Sim swap prevention. Obviously, overnight we had the whole craze of people in the US losing their cell signals. It sucks if that happened to you. But working product used by hundreds daily. Rare to find something in crypto actually being used at such a low market cap. Now, normally don't pay attention to people that chill stuff unless they give a good explanation, right? Like, this is the kind of stuff we want to see. So, OX number and AWS, charting the future of DeFi with unrivaled privacy and security. In an exhilarating leap forward, OX number has joined forces with Amazon Web Services through the AWS Global Startup, embarking on a mission to revolutionize number ownership via decentralized finance. This partnership is not just a collaboration, it's a beacon of innovation, privacy, and security in the DeFi space, setting a new benchmark for what's possible. The cornerstones of our collaboration with AWS lies in our unwavering commitment to privacy and security. As we gear up for the launch of our upcoming decentralized application, so it hasn't launched yet, I guess, their partnership ensures that these core values are not only preserved, but significantly enhanced. With AWS cloud infrastructure powering our platform, we're set to deliver DApp experience that's seamless, efficient, and unmatched in the DeFi ecosystem. The agility and scalability provided by AWS enables us to rapidly deploy new features, handle massive volumes of transactions without a hitch, and ensure that our platform is always available. So, I know there's Futureverse people that are watching. Listen, I know you guys are like, chill, just shut up and talk about this. So people question the Alibaba partnership. They're like, what the hell does that mean? It's integrated with Gen. It's basically this. The agility and scalability provided by insert Alibaba Cloud enable us to rapidly deploy new features, handle massive volumes of transactions without a hitch, and ensure that our platform is always available. See, that now it's like, okay, that's presented in a way that makes sense. That partnership sounds amazing, right? But if you are wanting to check this out a little bit more, I think that this is interesting. First time I'm hearing about it, to be totally honest with you. But revolutionizing number ownership with blockchain, private seamless acquisitions via our Telegram bot. Super small here. It could be nothing. It could be nothing, but just mentioning it there. Listen, I got some collections out there. I don't have a whole lot of mutuals, but there's still a few. Are these the diamonds in the rough, or the things that, you want to stay away from? So back to the persona journeyman. Blocking sales but enabling listings. Degens will be degens. They will continue grinding this down to 0.069 because they're panicking to lock in profits. If it goes low enough, no one is going to bother with their 2.29 auction. I haven't looked into Persona too much, except for like the time that we brought it up on stream the other day. But to say that you're not able to sell stuff, but you're able to list things, is this just a way for people to be able to see the price, create some FOMO? It just seems like these weird things are happening with these collections. Like why even do these? So NFT, who's a person that I love their opinion on, I've had them on the show forever ago, but really believe ordinals will have a 21-like run. Don't know when it happens, but probably near BTC cycle top and subsequent decline. I've created a basket of exposure for myself. Quantum Cats, Node Monkeys, Puppets, and RSI. Of course, always looking for new stuff. I don't know. I'm seeing the ordinals trend definitely kick up to another level on my timeline. So, amongst all the craziness from Yuga, Gordon tweets out this collection. And he's like, not to distract at all from the Yuga news today, but OD Labs is minting some crazy shit right now and wanted to show support while it's going down, so I scooped one. Now, obviously, this thing got all the attention in the world because we saw before when Gordon buys an NFT, everybody goes and pays attention to it. And voila, look, we're here and we are trying to pay attention to what exactly this is. No, I do not want the sound. The human brain is the hardware interface between your conscious and the universe. Okay? All right, this 10,000 companions, 10,000 Lulus made up of 13 neural components and X colors of matter coming together to create the first generative on-chain mixed reality companion. Okay. We got some more generation things going on, eh? Listen, this AI, we're picking up. Revolutionary mint through community-driven distribution. FNIC is a tradable ERC 721 token with a total supply of 333. It enables our on-chain community-driven distribution system. The FNIC gives you access to mint, allow list new wallets, and earn rewards in the process. So, instantly here from like a website point of view, I made a video yesterday on YouTube, if you're wanting to check it out, that was a clip segment of me going over all of the top collections and the websites, and they're not working. Now, to note, I'm so stupid. So within Silo, within the Yuga website, and within CloneX, I couldn't get them to load right. Silo took forever. Yuga just didn't happen, and the CloneX one just didn't happen. I needed to turn on hardware acceleration within Google Chrome. I needed to also do that for the Racers Garage. So if you happen to have some website issues, try turning on and off that hardware accelerator within your browser, and it might save you. And try to write that down somewhere, just in case you ever run into issues. Because I was like, damn it, I didn't realize that was the rationale. So I guess these ended up selling out based off the look at this. Scrolling, Public Mint is live. That was 19 hours ago. Yeah, and it's just kind of like a pill looking thing. So we'll see what ends up happening. Not really any tweets since the beginning of the mint. Is it sold out? Is it still going? What's the dealio? I thought it sold out, but they would have probably tweeted that it did. Now, numbers don't lie. Futureverse asset holders have received over $19 million in root over the last 6 months based on today's current price of 0.078 cents. 247 million root has been distributed so far, of 2.4 billion to be distributed to asset holders by 2025. Still, and 90% of root allocation to asset holders to be distributed over the next 22 months. If you're wondering why the heck I'm bullish on this root thing, it's because there's a lot still coming. Arvar, hold on a second. I just don't know if my thing's going to pop up in a weird way. Give me 2 seconds. I'll see if I can show you. So within this here, if you just go to your Google Chrome settings and type in Excel or accelerator, you'll see use graphics acceleration when available. I did turn that on. I don't know why, if I turned it off for some other issue before that I was running into my computer, this might already be on for you guys, but just, I'll make it a little bit bigger here, but just make sure that this is turned on if you are struggling with any website, and hopefully that assists you. Because that was a lifesaver for me. Okay, Banana is mooning, Ronin is mooning, Pexel is mooning, and it's all a part of the Ronin network. We looked at Banana the other day on stream. If you've been watching these daily streams, we were looking at this and wasn't it like below $2? And now it's almost at $4. That's crazy. Feels like the CyberKong ecosystem is really heating up. We're still seeing about the same price for that Genkai collection. I was wrong. I want to highlight the other day, I said that the Genkai collection wasn't that large because I thought I saw something that was saying it was only like 3,000 of them. Maybe that was for like a specific trait or access for some of them, but there's like 13,000. Then there's still a lot of the VXs, and then there's the Baby Kongs, which are out of like 5,000, and then there's 1,000 Genesis CyberKong. So there's still a lot of NFTs within the ecosystem, but it looks like things within the Ronin and CyberKong ecosystem are picking up. So here's the site. If you haven't done so yet, if you're interested in partaking within the other side, snagging your username, it's launch.otherside.xyz. I'll leave it up here on the screen for a minute. They have a video, obviously, that goes underneath there, just of the lovely clubhouse. But there's nothing to do with it once you do. I think you can connect your wallet if you want, but I didn't do that. I just reserved a username, and you're good to go. So once again, it's launch.otherside.xyz if you are wanting to partake. Listen, we got the Shakaroni today. Not gonna lie, we got the Shakaroni. Tomorrow at 4 p.m. we have Root Radio that's going on. We're gonna be talking bullish as per usual. But gonna be going into some updates regarding Silo, some of the other Futureverse quests, etc. Yo, GB Australia, I have a crazy question for you, GB Australia. You might not know this, but I'm going to assume that you're Australian, right? And if I've said that before and I've forgotten, I'm fired. Understood. But do you know the actress Anna Torv? She was on Fringe. She was on the what's the new show? Pedro Pascal's on. Why am I forgetting the name of it? The Last of Us. Fringe and The Last of Us. I used to watch Fringe forever back in the day, and The Last of Us, when she was in like the beginning of that, I was like, oh my goodness. So went over that earlier. Again, if you haven't seen and you're just joining a little bit late here, I made a post asking Aaron, what the hell is going on with these gold backpack thingies? Somebody shilled Harry Potter Obama Xena Inu, and then he dropped the alpha under this tweet of all things, of course, not replying to me, but buddy that's shilling the Harry Potter Bonner, you know what I mean? The Sonic guy, Alia. But he's highlighting this. So does that mean that we got new Futureverse merch that's coming through that is a bigger brand? So this is the spicy aspect of things, right? Because is this what they mean by a Readyverse, where you have these NFT merch sales and stuff, right? But it's actually a part of these bigger brands. It's not something that's exclusively Web3, that's geared exclusively to the Web3 community. And I mean, there's a few variants of where this is branched out. Obviously, certain things with Artifact because of their cyber dunks, but then for the Lamellos with Gutter Cat Gang, it was, hey, do you want this exclusive Lamello shoe? You can go get this NFT, and then that's basically your access to this. But then they also had like the public auction that was a part of it, still on blockchain, yada yada yada. Anyway, I'm just wanting to speculate just a little bit, you know what I mean? So back to the original part of the show, we started playing Grumble here, and again, is this something that's going to take off in terms of AI gaming because people are so busy doing other things? We have this weird kind of notion that people say, oh, I want to have these competitive games, so I want to do these things, and then the majority of people go out and they say, I'm too busy. I don't have time for this. I've missed the claim of this. This is dumb. I think people really want these AI type games. I really do. It might be like a little bit for them to like kind of get used to the aspect of it, but people assume they want these bigger games and then it doesn't end up happening. What the hell is this Grumble? So let's go into it. You end up winning junk rewards if you place decently with this. This is all completely automated, and if you have 100 junk, you're able to mint a goblin, which helps increase your future score. If you're not in the ecosystem, basically future score is a multiplier for when you complete challenges and quests where you get root token rewards. So it's basically like what everybody's doing out there in terms of the trying to get token airdrops, right? By just interacting with certain ecosystems or signing up wallets, et cetera, et cetera. This kind of a thing where it's like $20 and then you're able to go into this. So if this loads in like a reasonable time, we'll go over and spectate. We might not be able to see our own character, but there's always a match running here. And hopefully the volume doesn't go kilohertz here. Wait a minute, Daryl. Wow, loudy. So it's EVM compatible, but it's on the root network. But root's like involved with XRP. And man, I've made some videos about this, and the questions coming from like the XRP side of things when I'm not familiar with it is pretty crazy. But so the idea is you see these characters, there's like 3 different rounds. If that's my character, they'll just automatically go around and you hope that they just get a whole bunch of kills within the game. And if you do, then you get these token rewards. And that's similar to what's happening with the Ray Aiers game. So we'll wait for this to go as that's in queue here. We'll go back to the future past and I'll just bring that up once more because I went through it earlier, but nobody said anything. You know what I mean? Nobody said anything, dude. It's crazy. We'll do up the hot dog here because everybody seems to enjoy the hot dog look of this car. So you don't play, it's all AI. Yo, you got her, right? And so realistically, this is something that some people are like, it's cool. Other people get bored of it completely, like within the first few minutes. But this is the new one that's coming out for Futurverse, and it's Ray Aiers. It's like Zed-Run in a way, from what we're understanding, where you have a car that you get a deck out, but instead of Zed-Run where there's breeding, you get to put together these parts. So if we're trying to make a full bronze one, we happen to have a bronze engine, but if you use one of these other colors, it will just kind of partly match the look of it, if you can see. But maybe we'll see if we can do a whole bronze one here. We'll get the wheels, take a little bit of a gander. There's the ones that are studded, ones that are, I guess, ribbed that way, and then the roly-poly-oly type wheel. Guess we'll go with this one's, assuming that it's going to be off-road. And then for the exhaust, we have the low back ones that show like this, or we can end up going with that. We can also upgrade it to gold. Shows that we got some smoke coming out the tar, if you know what I mean. Hell yeah, bro. I think I might have enough to do like a full bronze one here, which will be spectacular. And then you get to do the seat. You have an accessory with it, and then it's kind of like a customized character. And I guess people might say that this is going to be like Mario Kart, just from like the simple look. It's kind of hard to compare the two because Mario Kart's like actually like a game that you move around with. But I mean, maybe aesthetically you can kind of make that argument, but in terms of ease of notice for people, what kind of steering wheel here works the best, we think? The 5,000 BTC and keep it the the pizza, keep it the food theme. Oh yeah, bro. Playing with racers and complete is more fun than playing with Grumble complete. Yeah, agree. You know, not to speak illy of Grumble at all, but it's like we kind of just sit here and we do this. There's not a whole lot of extraness to it. But again, as Aaron said yesterday, it felt like it's like a proof of concept for other games to be able to come in and do some interesting things with it. Okay, so for the chair, that one looks decent. That one looks like a truly racing chair here. Oh, and that one's got the brown strip. Yeah, listen, we got to keep it on theme there. And so then we can snapshot it as well, but then you just get to play around with it, right? So if we're like, hey, okay, cool, we don't want to save that, you can optimize it to the best of your ability as well. But let's go and make, what do we want to do? I guess this one looks like an actual go-kart on like an indoor track. The lime green is a little bit too greeny for it, to be honest, I think. Not like it hurts your eyes, but I don't know if it's like a nice shade to look at per se. And a reminder, if you are doing the garage and you're having issues, just check your hardware acceleration is on. Unless we have a bug and everything's down and it's Jover and it's Jover and it's Jover. But with these, so each ASM brain and ATOM card got a free claim. And to do like 5, because there's like 5 at a time and each one has like 5 parts with it or something, you ended up getting, or only having to pay, I think it was like $1 or something in gas, which was crazy. So when we talk about the mass adoption aspect of that ever happening, and we say that you can't be on ETH unless it's an L2, this one's looking spicy that way. All right, we got the engine in the back. We gotta make this look like a real go-kart here. You know what I mean? I feel like that works. Do we want something that's got a little more of a style and rim? For a dirt terrain, that feels good. For flat terrain, those rib tires, I don't know. Well, let's say that it's an indoor. What's an indoor go-kart? Yeah. That's what we'll go with. That sounds good. I think you just want that, unless you want some. I mean, yeah. This reminds me of Jimmy Neutron. Have you ever seen the movie where they go to like the other planet and there's those aliens and they have that scene where it's like, "Hello, toast." It's a great flick. Great flick. The front, I feel like the front accessories kind of lack a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. At least the ones that I got, I feel like are kind of subpar. They don't speak to me too much. I guess you go with like the dolphin dive because it kind of looks like it's aerodynamic. Or the ones that are closest, like a bumper car. Yeah, that makes sense. And then we have the pièce de résistance. That if anybody watches Trailer Park Boys and they get J-Rock gets Julian the hockey stick. The hockey stick wing for the back. That was crazy. And then there's just kind of these fun accessories. They have laundry day. It's a pair of pants. They have the noise box, which is a radio. They have a bug catcher. That one looks kind of funky, so we'll go with that. But it's just, I think you're right. Like, it is just fun doing this while the other one's kind of more passive. But, once you go into these races, is it more imperative? Like, when you compare AI League to this. So if you want, you can go out, you can download FIFA AI League on your mobile device. It's on Android and iOS. And you get these characters, and it's also one of the other Futurverse AI games, but you don't really do anything with them. You get enough points, and then you can upgrade. But this, it seems like you have to buy the parts to upgrade, which, depending on what the rewards look like within the races, it'll be interesting how much demand people show towards that. I feel like that one looks comfy. And the steering wheel, and then we are done skis. But you see on the bottom, the top speed, the durability, you're going to have to make it work to find out what the best one is for each of the tracks. Well, I think it looks pretty dope. Not bad, not bad. Well, that's going to do it for today's edition of XFeed. Talking a little bit about AI gaming going into the wild world of countries banning the biggest crypto exchanges. Reasons for everything. Curious as well, as we see, because I thought that this week we were supposed to have Yuga come out and give more info regarding their upcoming games and events, because last week they announced the Moonbirds thing and then the town hall, but under that town hall meeting they said stay tuned for next week to get more insight. So was the insight just the fact that it's the Meebits announcement, that the other side account was available, or is the news coming tomorrow? Appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll chat soon. Have a great rest of your day.